Ah, yes, indeed, it's fun time. Once again, greetings from the Erie Coast. This is Mad Chat. Oh, I'm tired. my trilling is even tired. Greeting from the Erie Coast. This is Mad Chat. And this is another episode of the Zoot Report, Sunroof Edition. Let's get into it, shall we? Oh, man. Here's something. It is currently 81 degrees. Beautiful, beautiful skies. Clear blue skies. Somewhat. There's the sun. Hey, sun. It's slightly cloudy. I'd say slightly cloudy. What are we going to talk about today? The wisdom of the ancients. The wisdom of the ancients. Wisdom of our forefathers. You know, there's something that happened. Something that we're all still working with today. You know, the norm was, back in the day, thousands of years ago, hell, even 100 years ago, is that you get land, you make living off land. Everybody knew how to do it. It's, you know, everybody knew how to live off the land. It was just what we did. You could hunt, you could fish, you could grow things, you could have animals, raise them, feed them, have them grow for you, and then slaughter them, and then eat them. Plant food. And not only could you plant food and have subsistence for yourself, but others as well. You know? You got 60 acres of cabbages. Your family only needs 4. Well, you do the math. That goes to market. Or you find a way to store it. That was the thing about growing vegetables. Now we know how to store it. Now we can store food indefinitely. Like back then they didn't. They had very limited ways of storing food. You know, you salt it, if there was no glass, then, well, you kept it cool, right? Or you ate it right away. You made stuff that, would last a bit. But eventually your food would spoil, Meats, we kind of knew what to do. Salt it, preserve it, whatever. So you had to grow crops all the time for yourself. Oh yeah, your animals get to eat the crops. If you have leftovers, like, man, we can't store this. Might as well feed it to the cows, feed it to the pigs, right? That's one way of preserving your food. Turning your food into something else. Feed. What's my point? Wisdom of the ancients. Wisdom of our forefathers. Farming is ingrained in us. It's something that we know what to do. It's relatively simple concept. It is hard work, but it makes for strong humans, strong men, strong women. Look at the Amish. Yeah, there's mechanical advantage. Yeah, there's horses, there's bulls, there's oxen, beast of burden. But mankind has to shoulder that burden as well. Makes us strong. Makes us smart. Makes us aware. Keep losing power. And so, you would think that a species that had absolutely mastered farming over thousands upon thousands of years would still continue to do it, especially with all the new technologies, tractors, automated watering systems, hydroponics. You don't even have to have a piece of land. You have a warehouse. Equipped with grow lights, hydroponics, water, nutrients, all kinds of shit. The Netherlands, they were absolute masters of it. Yeah, they don't do it anymore. The wisdom of our forefathers, the wisdom of the ancients, is beginning to be lost. It is in threat of being lost. And why? For greed and laziness. I was having a conversation with a coworker today, and he made an interesting observation. He's like, you know what? A lot of people don't know where things come from. Like, where does power come from? Where does your power come from? Is there a little hamster running on a wheel, turning a gyro? Makes everybody power? There's winds, there's solar, there's coal. I didn't know this, but in Ohio, most of our power is created by coal and propane. And it still uses steam. Steam turns the turbine. The turbine creates electricity. Massive amounts of electricity. Boom, there you go, power. Lithium batteries are a chemical process, right? Most people think that food comes from a grocery store. That's where they go to get it. Or that's what they Uber it. They Uber from. Hey, can you order me a chicken? Sure. Yeah. Man, wow. They think that chickens just come out of a box in the back of the supermarket. I don't know. Food production, we have mastered it to the point where there are over close to 9 billion people in this world. 9 billion. Over 330 million in the United States alone. All those people got to eat. But through greed and laziness, we have created Franken food. Yum. Yummy. So people that, literally, throughout the course of my day, I ask the question, can that person run? They don't look like they can run. I can run. It's not pretty, but I can run. wisdom of the ancients. If you're working in the farms, on the homestead, you're tending to your crops, you're tending to your animals, you're getting much needed exercise. Something happens, you can run. You go out there to, tend to the cows. One of the bulls gets a little ornery. You can run. Fuck, I'm out of here. Screw you. Play with your goats, run around, chase them. They chase you, try to headbutt you. Good times. Throw poop at them. They try to knock you through the fence. You got to be strong. You got to be agile to be a farmer. And that carries on for a long time. Your quality of life is better because you're more active every day. You maintain activity, sometimes strenuous activity, every day, all your life. Until you're like 80, 90 years old. I never forget meeting my great grandfather. The man was 6'3", skinny as a fucking rail. All he wore was a pair of overalls, skin like leather. I mean leather. He was not white. He was leather, brown leather is what he was. And he drank red-eye gravy. He had had coffee every morning. Smoked Pall Malls. Breakfast was a fucking feast. Yet he was skinny. So fucking skinny. But the man could run. He could work. He could outwork anybody. You know how he died? He got ran over by a tractor. He was that guy. He would run the tractor in the fields, doing whatever they're doing. I don't know. I was a kid, and tilling whatever, and he'd put it in idle. He'd see something in the field he had to take care of. I don't know, a weed. I don't know, maybe an animal, a snake. Whatever, he'd jump off the fucking tractor, tend to the crops, tend to that issue, then jump back on the tractor. Well, one day he jumped off the tractor and got caught up, and they ran over him. Kept on going. He could have lived to be 100 years old. I mean, wisdom of our forefathers. And you're working smart and hard. And what have we done? We have streamlined the process. We have automated the process. All the process. From the feed to the housing to the watering to the immunizations. It's right in their food now. Better living through chemical engineering and automation. And then into the slaughtering, the butchering, the packaging, the shipping. That's where it's all at now. I mean, there's still large-scale farms and productions that people actually do work, but you get my point. Hell, there's even lab-grown meat. We know about that. And my family came from a farm, a great homestead in Tennessee. We lost it decades ago. About 50 decades ago, yeah, to be exact. Yeah. I think I was like 10 years old. We had pigs, we had crops, we had all kinds of things. Us young kids, we would get sent to the farm from time to time throughout the course of our lives to work the farm, to learn. And then every year we'd have a big old, 2 or 3 times a year we'd have a big family reunion, and everybody shows up. Those days are gone. See what Stalin did to the farmers? Kulaks. Killed them all. Because a population that can provide for its own subsistence is a threat to democracy. Ha ha ha! I love that segue. It's a threat to government. It's a threat to tyranny. And if you haven't seen what's going on with the farmers, I mean, there's people going, there's people losing their farm, getting fined, getting in jailed and in prison for watering their crops. Huh? Yeah. For selling a cow to someone. What? Yeah. Want to buy a cow? It's got to be done a certain way. Want to buy some milk? Want to buy some eggs? It's all got to be done a certain way. Regulate me harder, Daddy. The Amish farmer in Pennsylvania, he had a membership. He wasn't selling to, he wasn't selling to big ag. He wasn't exactly. That's why, right? He had a membership. People would pay to have a cow. Like, that's my cow. It's born. Okay. I have a subscription. I pay. It pays for all his feed, all his housing and all that stuff. Everything that the farmer's going to do. And then when it's time to slaughter, boom, I get the cow. All of it. It's mine. Or you can co-op a cow. Whatever you want to do, right? You just show up and get the cow. No hassle, no mess, no fuss. Here it is. You can actually help in the process if you want to. But they literally sent the state troopers to shut him down. Fucking searched everything. Had search warrants. Put the guy in jail. Because he wouldn't, what the hell was he doing? He wasn't, oh yeah, he didn't have a refrigerator unit. And he tried to do everything right. He's like, okay, fine. If I slaughter this cow, I gotta put it in the refrigerator. Fine. He did that. And the people would come that day and get it. So the thing was in, the meat was in the slaughter, whatever. There it was. They still went after him. Like, the whole state of Pennsylvania showed up. State troopers, PBI, whoever, or Pennsylvania Bureau of Investigation, Big Ag, all these motherfuckers showed up and shut him down. If you haven't noticed, there is a war upon our food. He who controls the means of food production controls the people. That's exactly what Stalin did. And that's exactly what's happening to the rest of the world. Especially the United States of America. The Constitutional Republic. one of the greatest lands to ever farm. We fed the world. We still do. But through greed and laziness, not only have we shut down farms, we've sold farms, and now you have large-scale production corporations that farm that are owned from other countries in this country, that they'll slaughter 50,000 pigs and send it to China. What? Yeah. So men in lab coats, since America's not getting their food, men in lab coats and their test tubes are sitting around trying to figure out how to make food to feed America. How to engineer food. And they do it. And you look at all the disgusting fat bodies, yeah, me included. I like me some dirty food from time to time. They market it, they package it, they make us fat, they make us weak. I don't know. And you know what? It's the majority of people that I see that are overweight, obesely overweight, are young women. Yeah. Man, that's just my observation. There's young men too. Most of your old are skinny. Yeah, they're kind of decrepit. They've got issues, right? But I see more in shape old people than I do in shape young people. I'm definitely in shape. Hey, compares to shape. No, I'm not that fat. I fluctuate from time to time. But I don't live on a farm. I have to find other ways to keep my fitness level. You know, I hike. I do calisthenics. Right? I do weird shits. Everyone's like, "What are you doing?" Working out. We have to force ourselves, motivate ourselves. You know, there is no motivation like these cows got to be fed every day, so I can get fed every day, and so my family can get fed every day. These cows are not going to milk themselves, right? Babies need milk. I got to work. Milk is heavy. Cows are heavy. Their feed is heavy. Everything's heavy. Fuck. Wisdom of the ancients, man. I'm thinking about moving to a farm, just work. Hey, can I work at a farm? But through greed and laziness, we have changed society. They have changed society. Nobody wants to work on a farm. Kidding me? Now, I'm not saying it's always work. I mean, there's always something to do, right? Things got to be fixed. Things got to be built. Things got to be moved, right? All kinds of work to be done on a farm. And you know what? That's where we built civilization. That's where we built cities. Cities were built because of farms. Feudal times. A king had land, huge tracts of land, and he had serfdom. He had serfs that lived on these lands, and they produced food for the kingdom and themselves. And where'd the king live? He lived in a castle, in a city, in a village that was outside the castle. It got bigger and bigger and bigger. Every great city is surrounded by farms. Should be, anyway. That's where your food comes from. That's where the success comes from. And back in the day, if you lived in a farm, if you lived in the city, you could work hard. There's some hard work to be had in the city, right? Factories and plants, and, municipalities, all kinds of things. You could also be administrative. You could do clerical work. You could, crunch numbers. Be an egghead. Work a ledger, whatever. Trading the stock market. Know a farmer that has, 150 cows that he's about to bring to slaughter, about to bring them to market. Oh, I can sell those cows for you. Really? And then what happens is everybody in the city just conveniently forgets where their food comes from. And allows the government and corporations to shut down farms. Farms that have been in families for 100, 200 something years. 1,000 years. In case of the Netherlands, everywhere else. Sweden, there's like thousands of 2,000-year-old farms. What the fuck? Yeah. Yet we're okay, and nobody's saying anything. I mean, yeah, the farmers are. Maybe a few people online. They're like, "Hey, see what's going on here? Y'all don't forget. Yeah, y'all forgot the agendas." I mean, the whole screw. Every pandemic that comes around that affects our livestock, that has been erased for hundreds of years, 50, 100 years, whatever. Screwworm, like 67 years, some shit like that, because we took steps, right? Then we allow cows, we allow meat to come to America from Mexico, where they don't have the same practices we do. See, I mean, the whole borders, borders matter. Gotta watch for, gotta watch your food. Why are we importing? What the fuck? Why import anything when we can make it ourselves, grow it ourselves? Wisdom of the ancients, the wisdom of our forefathers is slowly but surely, actually rather quickly, at a quick pace, being eroded. Yeah. Things are changing fast. Look at the price of everything. The price of food, astronomical. What's up? How you doing? I don't know. And there's nothing we can really do, is there? That's what it feels like. I mean, you can support your local farmers. You can buy from your farmers. You can lobby your congressmen, your Congress critters. Hey, stand up for farmers. right? You know, hey, let's stop these insane practices of, you know, let's not buy from large meat corporations that the owners are from another country. Yeah, that shit, that is not supposed to happen, but it does. It absolutely fucking does. What is it, Smithfield or something like that? Owned by China, the largest producer of pork in the country. I don't know. I could be wrong. I mean, whatever happened to purity of food? You know? Now we've got just Frankenfood. It's not even food. You know, Crisco was a tractor axle grease for farms. And some scientists said, hey, this is edible. Why don't we sell it? Because lard prices are nobody's buying lard. Let's sell this shit instead. It won't kill you right away. You can actually eat it. It won't hurt you right away. And boom, Crisco. I can't believe it's not butter. Impossible meat. Everybody gets brainwashed into believing that farm, once again, kulak system. The kulaks. And so you actually got people, stupid, ignorant people in this country, in this world, that will buy and eat something that is not food because of an ideology. When it should be the other way around. That reminds me, I gotta find this guy with the duck eggs. I gotta nail him down. He's being elusive. Yeah. Wisdom of our forefathers slowly being lost to greed and laziness. My God. The obesity of the young people. I don't understand it. When I was their age, I was in great shape. I was constantly moving, constantly doing stuff. I could eat whatever I wanted because I was always running. I was always on the go. Always doing things. Hey, you know what they say? Wherever you go, whatever you do, always remember, you're going somewhere and doing something. Seen that written on the some wisdom from the bathroom stalls. River City Cafe. I think it was a women's bathroom, actually. Yeah, I was there at 3 o'clock in the morning doing pest control. I got time to read the stalls. Read the writing on the walls. Yet we don't mind, because there's food everywhere. Is it really food? I mean, we have a choice. That's the thing. We have a choice. Yet we choose. And I've done it too. I had a candy bar today. Shouldn't have did it, but I did. I had a questionable meat product in a breakfast sandwich. I don't know what it was. They say it was sausage. I don't know. They say it was cheese. They say it was bread. I doubt it. And that was the whole idea with the big box stores. Don't box the, what was it, Pawleys Island? Yeah, they had this thing that don't box the neck. Don't put in a Walmart. Don't put in this. Don't, because they're the neck. They call themselves the neck that went into the water, into the ocean, right? So anyway, like a peninsula. Don't box the neck. I remember that. I got the sticker. But who's going to farm in the future? Is anyone going to farm? Is it just going to be large corporations? Robots and AI making food for the masses? That we slowly die? The food that we're eating is actually killing us. Because it's not real food. We learned. We learned so much. Farming has evolved. It took thousands of years. Trial and error. Sweat equity. Man, what the fuck happened? Farming built everything you see. Everything. And here we are. Can't even find real food anymore. Everything's injected. Everything's got chemicals, some kind of preservative. It's unnecessary. It's all unnecessary. We should have just stick to the old ways, which some people do. Some farms do. There's so much going on, so much regulation, so much restrictions, and banks are literally getting on top of it. And yes, the data centers. Oh yeah, why does a data center? How is a data center more important than a farm? A data center doesn't produce anything. It consumes everything. A farm produces everything. It produces food. Yet we're okay with... I see signs. I was in the country driving around for work. Seeing all these signs, no data centers, no data centers, no data centers. And I'm looking at hundreds of acres of farm just, being threatened, being absolutely threatened. And for what? What data is more important than a piece of steak, or bacon, or tomatoes, or eggs, chickens? I don't know. I don't understand. Oh, I do understand. This is the fall of humanity. This is how it happens too. With our food. Our food shall disappear, and so will we. And the wisdom of the ancients will be lost forever. And so somebody out there says, you know what? If I put a seed in the ground, it grows. I can either eat that, the fruits of my labor, or feed it to an animal that I have, and he can grow, and I can eat that. Anyway, this has been Mad Shad. It's called another episode of the Zoot Report.